Yo, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a performance review on these bad boys right here. This, my friends, is the Nike Zoom BB NXT. So the traction on these guys, I was unable to test indoors, unfortunately. However, the traction outside, man, these things are just grippy. All the way around, they screech like crazy as well. So if you're looking for that sound out of your traction, these are gonna provide that for you. They've been pretty durable. We've been on blacktops, we've been on asphalt, we've been on concrete. Even, what's that stuff that's out front of the house, like that tar? The street, yeah, whatever. We've been on all of it and these joints just grip everything. So far, so good. Again, I would love to test these indoors, but due to the pandemic, we're unable to get inside of any gyms, no lifetimes, no 24s, none of that stuff. So this is all we've got. But from what I can tell right now, these things, fantastic. Now, as far as fit is concerned, I went down half a size, but most of the other team members on WearTesters, they actually all went true to size. This to me feels like a running basketball shoe. So I wanted the snug, like 1-to-1 fit as close as possible. I don't want any potential ankle rolls or anything like that, especially with the Zoom Air setup. So again, I went down half a size. They fit me perfect. My toes are at the edge. A lot of people don't like that. So if you wanted a normal fit, I would go true to size. If you wanted a super 1-to-1 fit, go down half a size. Now, as far as lockdown is concerned, most of that's coming from these nylon straps. The overall lockdown I think is really great. However, I do feel this guy right there, and it rests right on your pinky toe, man. And that's just one of them things that sometimes we have to deal with as hoopers, and I've had that in numerous shoes. This is one of them. So just be aware that these things can rub and chafe on the inside, but otherwise the lockdown has been phenomenal. I love this little heel pillow right there in the back. It cups everything perfectly so that nothing's popping out. And then I like that the main part of the collar actually scoops away from the foot, so there's no chafing around there and all that stuff. So I could wear these with any of my socks, my favorites being no-shows. But today, for all you hypebeast hoopers, we got the crew socks on. Ooh. Now, real quick, we're gonna go right back down to traction just so you can see a little bit of the encore action that it will give you. Okay, so you guys are gonna see a couple of things. First thing is that entire tip of the forefoot is just straight up linear traction and coverage. Is great for toe off. So if you're in this movement or in this position, you're gonna, pop off and explode into your moves. It's gonna be able to grip the court and allow you to really push off. There's also that flex groove right behind it just before the Zoom pods. Again, that's great for mobility and movement. And then at the Zoom pods, you actually have radial traction, which is my favorite because that'll give you all types of coverage, lateral coverage. You can do any kind of move, pivot, stops, all that kind of good stuff, and you'll be good to go. And then we continue on with that kind of like linear traction on the backside. So if you're gonna make a hard stop and then a step back or whatever it might be, you'll be good to go. Now the cushion on these guys is just amazing. We have Zoom Air in the forefoot, 2 pods, same setup as the LeBron 17. It feels a little bit more subdued than that, believe it or not, and that was already kind of a subdued setup, but you do feel all that impact protection. Again, I've been testing these primarily outdoors or not primarily, exclusively outdoors, and my knees, these old things are working just fine, at least for right now. The rest of the shoe is all React, and this stuff is actually tri-layered. So you got 1, 2, and then the insole is the 3rd layer. It's fantastic. I love the way that these things feel. Again, it feels like a runner, but made for hoops. So some of you guys, especially the speedy guys, are probably gonna like these quite a bit. One other thing that I really like about these is the contoured shape. So this guy right there is lipped up. So you can roll into your stride, you can roll into your shot or setting your feet, whatever it is that you might be doing. The base itself is actually pretty wide. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's set a little bit wider than something like a runner, so I like that as well. I do have some stability issues right here on the outside, even though we have this little wing, but if you press super hard, it actually compresses and collapses the bag. So what I would recommend is staying on the inside of your foot or the ball of the foot instead of on the outside. The material setup here, all textile, everything. It feels fantastic straight out of the box. There is a small little connection piece from the tongue because it's almost a 3/4 sleeve, so you got it connected right here. Some people, like with an extremely wide foot, might have a problem with that. For me though, feels just fine, especially right out the box. All these little iridescent layers are very Kobe 6 like, So they're like little polyurethane kind of like protection pieces to really protect the material underneath. Again, I'm outside, so if I'm gonna go and do a toe drag, which you don't even have a choice, some people just kind of drag their feet on accident, and this guy right there is going to protect all of this material so we don't wear through the textile underneath it. And then as far as support is concerned, all of this stuff that we talked about earlier just kind of ties in together. So the base is a little bit wide, especially at the forefoot. You got that nice little ramp right there, so it's going to push you forward or roll you into your stride. The overall fit and lockdown is great, so no complaints there. And then we have a moderator plate in between the two layers of React. That acts as a stabilizer plate for the cushion, and it also acts as a torsional system for your foot so you don't over twist and over flex. All right guys, so that pretty much takes care of the performance review on the Nike Zoom BB NXT. I think that they're a fantastic shoe. Much like last year's Nike Zoom Rise, this shoe right here is like one of those main models, I think, without a signature name attached, where you just get ultimate performance without the name, which I think is fantastic. Look for sales because nobody's buying hoop shoes right now. It's really hard just to get out and come, like we're out of school right now because all the fucking rims are gone. They're gone. You could go play soccer, okay? Same thing. Everybody around breathing on each other and no masks, but no basketball. What the f? But again, everything on this shoe is great. Just watch out for that small little issue at the outrigger point where the zoom is for that stability. Keep on the ball of your foot if possible, and you should be good to go. Otherwise, I love these things. I feel not quite young, but almost. You know what I mean? Like a little bit young again. Great cushion, great traction, great fit, support, all that stuff. What else can you ask for other than a lower price? But I mean, we're talking about Nike here, so it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Until next time, guys, have a good one.
How do I look?
You look good.
It's the shoes.
Do you feel fresh in those? When I wore mine, I don't think I ever felt more fresh.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, even though like, not these, but like a Jordan, or sometimes like a Jordan will be like, yo, I feel fresh. But I've never felt more like ain't nobody got these type shits. And they look dope and they feel dope. You know what I mean? So like, I had never been like more swagtastic in my life.
Thanks, Saya. Now, for the real deal, I'm gonna ask Chris a question.
Yeah, like there was something that I missed or something you wanted elaborated on? Is that what it was?
I just found it interesting while I was editing. You talked about how there's no athlete attached to the shoe. It's not a signature shoe model. And I just thought it was interesting. And I mean, I randomly think this too, but with all the running shoe models that come through, there's no athlete attached to any of those. And I just think it's interesting that for basketball shoes, for them to really get sold, there needs an athlete.
Sometimes there is though. You have Usain Bolt. He's an athlete attached to a brand. And then they put the shoe, the running version of this, the 4% whatever's on that guy that like the fastest marathoner ever.
Right.
And I think they've done that twice now. So it's like they do product place and it works because then you have runners being like, can that work for me?
At the same time though, they don't need his name attached to the shoe.
No, and you're probably not gonna see a big banner of him over at Fleet Feet, Runner's Warehouse, or any of these places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they do focus on the product itself, but when you have an athlete like that doing what they do in the shoe,
yeah, no, it definitely
intriguing.
Makes awareness of the product.
Which is all
marketing.
That's all marketing. That's all what marketing is. It's all about brand awareness.
Yeah.
So if you were to see somebody in the league wear these, it would bring more attention to the shoe.
Just like over the weekend, Luka.
Yes.
He did something amazing, and all of a sudden I see ping, ping, ping for the Jordan Elevate.
Yeah, well that's the thing, like he hits like a game winner as a killer game, and then all of a sudden people are interested in that shoe. Same thing with Dame. Adidas does this all the time.
Yeah.
Makes a big game, and then they are like, hey, we're just gonna drop this shoe down to the points that he made. And so somebody's like, hey, could you make like 3 points in the game? It doesn't work like that, but like it'd be cool, you know what I mean? But with this, I don't think that it needs a name attached to it. It's a good shoe. It's just that I don't think that it's the best shoe. I think that it has a lot of draw to it. I just don't think that it's like perfect, you know? Because like a guy like Luka, if he were to hit that hard plant and then step back, that little thing right there, because I had done it a few times and I don't even hit moves like that, like especially not that hard or as at that size of an athlete, and it collapses on me. So that could be a reverse or adverse marketing effect, where just the previous game, or maybe it was the game after, Luka rolled his ankle with no contact, which is really rare nowadays. Then he did it in a different Jordan shoe with the Diamond Low, and then everybody's like, oh yeah, the shoes are trash or whatever. If you look at what happened, the traction gripped really well, and then he buckled. It can happen happen. So you don't want things to be too good or too bad, you know what I mean? Like, it's got to be a happy medium. It's really hard, especially when marketing is so good at tweaking the mind of someone. As soon as they see that, they're like, oh, blah, like that. They don't take the time to really think, analyze, or look at things logically. But if you break it down and you actually look at what happened, especially when you slow it down, boom, he hard plants, grips real well, boom, ankle buckles. He's got to work on his body. That's all that is. Like, he's got to strengthen his ankle up. It just kind of depends, but it could go either way. You can have an athlete attached to it and it can be great. It can go the other way where the athlete gets obliterated in the shoe and it's like, oh, those shoes are garbage. And then now all of a sudden they're on clearance racks. I haven't paid attention to the bubble really, so I don't know who's wearing this. You guys can let me know. All I know is that I like the shoe. I just think that they got to really work on, if they're going to have these Zoom pods, making it so that those bags don't collapse like that. Because this, with that rubber, they made it so that it can still flex, but it still bows too, and it could be dangerous. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, guys, have a good one. Oh, also, go to WearTesters.com. Link is in the description box. It'll have all the price, their weight, their scores, all that kind of good stuff. So if you needed any more information. And with that being said, peace.